Good morning, Frederick Zappone here. Someone suggested to me that I should do one of these every day because they are so inspired by what I share with them, and I'm very grateful that they are. They like the simplicity of the way I think, and I was trained to think that way because simple thinking produces clarity of thought, where complicated thinking oftentimes causes pain, conflict, and confusion. So I'm going to do this. I'm doing this off the top of my head. I'm doing this extemporaneously. I'm doing it spontaneously. And we may be interrupted by dogs barking and birds chirping and things like that. But just bear with me. Essentially, what I am is I am a independent, self-funded, inspirational speaker and writer. What does that mean? That means I don't charge for 90% of the work I do. I rely on donations to pay my bills. And so far, it's worked for me. I've been doing this since 1998. And money is always there for me from sources unexpectedly. All right, so that you know that about me. So what is the subject going to be this morning? The subject's going to be, I've got problems. My life's terrible. I'm desperate. I need answers. What do I do? Okay. All right. Well, we all need answers. That's true. But here's the thing. When we're desperate, the mind closes up and is incapable of receiving an answer. You know, an open mind can solve any problem easily. A stressed out mind delays problems being solved, and a closed mind has absolutely no chance in hell of solving a problem. So one of the things that's important is being able to get yourself relaxed in the moment, regardless of the circumstances in your life. And the way you get yourself relaxed is that you bring your mind back to where your body is. You see, your body can only live in the present. It can live nowhere else. It's anchored in the present. Now, the troublemaker is the mind. It wanders everywhere. It wanders into the future. It wanders into the past. It pulls up memories from the past. It just causes all kinds of trouble. You know, it brings up memories from the past that make you feel bad. It brings up memories from the past that causes regret. Then it goes into the future and it worries about if you're going to have enough money, if somebody's going to love you, if you're going to be well. There's no happiness by rummaging around in your past or in your future. It's all about being here now. It's about being in the present. And in order to be in the present, you have to literally practice keeping your mind where your body is. And you do that by what I call mindful consciousness. And that means becoming totally aware of where you are and what you're doing right now. You know, don't let yourself go on automatic pilot. For an example, you can drive a car on automatic pilot because you've driven the car so many times. But become very conscious of what you're doing. Just get yourself involved. I mean, look at everything in your present moment. Look at your coffee cup. You know, the 3 steps I talk about in being present here to keep your mind and your body together in the present is, what do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? Those are the 3 questions to help get your mind present with your body. What do you see right now? Okay, depending where you are, you might be seeing your computer. You might see your coffee cup. You might be seeing some of your co-workers. You might be looking out the window and you might see a rabbit or a squirrel or some birds. You might hear dogs panting. That's what I'm hearing right now because my dog Louie is panting here because he wants to go out. He's very impatient. He'll wait. He'll be fine. But if you hear this heavy breathing, it's not me. It's Louie. Anyhow, back to staying in the present. So what you want to do when you stay in the present, okay, is focus on what do you see, what do you feel, and what do you hear right now. Now look, it takes practice to keep the mind with the body. See, I only look into the future long enough to see if there's anything I have to do now to make sure my future turns out the way I want it. Now, if there's nothing I can do now to make my future turn out the way I want it, then I bring my mind back to the body. Now, I can bring my mind back to the body quite easy. In fact, one of the reasons I love to do these video audios is because in order to do them, I have to be very much in the moment. And so I encourage you that as part of your own practice is to find things that keep you in the moment. And certainly you can do this at work. You know, what most people do, first off, there is no such thing as a perfect job. The only perfect job there is no job. In other words, being in business for yourself. I've been in business for myself since 1998. It's the perfect job because I'm responsible for everything. I'm responsible for my income. I'm responsible for my hours, what I do and what I don't do. When you're in a job, let's face it, you're somebody else's slave. That's just the way it is. Now, it's not a bad thing. I mean, you get paid for being a slave. And some people get paid really well for being a slave, so that's not a bad thing. But the thing is, if you're in a job, this is where the mind wants to really be a troublemaker. It so much doesn't want to be there at times. The body's there. So if your body's going to be there, and if you have no choice but to have your body there, then practice on bringing your mind into the job. And you do that by focusing in the present moment, but focus on things that make you feel good. That's the other part of being able to be present, is focusing on what makes you feel good. Because when you focus on things that make you feel bad, you're not loving yourself, you're abusing yourself. So it's really a matter of staying present by focusing on what makes you feel good. Because the law is, the more you focus on something that makes you feel good, the more you will attract other things that will make you feel even better. Whatever we focus our attention on expands and we attract more of the same. This takes practice, so don't make yourself wrong when you jump into the future somewhere. And here's the thing about letting the mind get away too far from the body. It gets into this mesmerized or hypnotized state. It's like you're on automatic. It's like you're having this terrible fantasy about things not working out or going wrong or how you're going to pay the bill, whatever it is. See, you can't do anything about what's going on in the future until you get there. So one of the things that always helps to get you in the present is, do you have everything you need for today? Don't try to live beyond the day. I mean, God, you don't even know if you're going to have tomorrow. I mean, there's no guarantee that you're going to have a tomorrow. So you better just be here now, in the present, in this moment, in this day. The way you do that again is focus on what is going on around you. The 3 questions: what do I hear now? What do I see now? What do I feel now? This takes practice. But the more you practice being here now, the easier it gets until it becomes an automatic habit of thought. Until your mind is so trained. See, the mind is like a wild stallion. It wants to go anywhere. But by you training it, by you taking the reins of your mind, eventually it will understand, just like a dog, when you train a dog well, that when you want your mind to sit, it's going to sit and it's going to stay where you want it to stay until you decide to go somewhere else. Now, the other thing about being here now is if your mind is really, really insistent on being somewhere else. For an example, like if you're at work, and your mind is really, really insistent on being out fishing somewhere, then take a play day, take a holiday, take a sick day, whatever. Go where your mind wants you to be. So it's that balance of, if you can't get your mind to be where your body is, see if you can take your body to where your mind is. Because it's only when we're present that we can easily hear the messages of guidance and advice that are coming to us from the divine or the universal intelligence. It's in the present that we can change things. We can't change things when our mind is in the past or when our mind is in the future. But in the present, we have all of our power. In the present is when we feel the best. When you let your mind start wandering, that's the reason why you feel stress. When your mind is wandering, that causes stress. Anytime the mind and the body are separated from each other, you're going to feel stress. So the practice of being here now is a practice that's going to pay you huge dividends. And it'll get better every single day. I would suggest that, from time to time, maybe once a week, maybe every other day, whatever, listen to this particular video to really get an understanding about how to be here now. It will make the biggest difference in your life. So here's the thing. We learn everything through repetition. You learn the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, how to read and write, how to play the piano, how to ride a bike. Everything you learn, you did it over and over and over again. And then suddenly it became an automatic habit of thought. Because what happened at some point when you repeat things enough, they become anchored in your subconscious mind. And your subconscious takes over and it becomes automatic. And that's the same thing about practicing to be in the present. You keep on practicing to be in the present. You keep on doing it consciously. And then one day, you're going to just be in the present all the time and you won't even have to think about it. Anyhow, so that's that's my inspirational speech talk for today, whatever. And the dogs were very good, so we didn't hear them barking, though I have heard the birds chirping outside. So at the end of this little video, you will see a link that will take you to my page. If you go there, you will find a bigger explanation or another explanation or an expanded explanation of my work and how you can support my work and how you can have me answer any questions you have about any of my articles that I write or any of my videos that I publish. And I'll be glad to answer your questions free of charge. Just go to that page. It'll tell you how you can get your questions answered. Anyhow, this is Frederick Zappone for Frederick Zappone. Oh man, I love life. I mean, I think life is just wonderful. And I got to tell you, when you focus on things that feel good, you get euphoric. You know, as a friend of mine, Bijou, once said to me, Frederick Zappone could talk a train down the track. Well, that's true, I can. So this train is stopping at this stop, and I will talk to you the next time. In the meantime, have a great day.